Can you negotiate your home loan rate? Yes. A lot of people ask, Dylan, how do we negotiate? How do I make sure I'm getting the best interest rate? We're going to cover a couple of tips that will show you how to get the best deal and how you can negotiate, right? To make sure you're getting the best deal. You want to make sure that the fees that you're paying, that you understand everything. So every lender, every bank has fees. There are fees associated with everything. That's how people make money. There are fees for like underwriting, credit reports, title work, there's attorney's fees. There's always a big list of things that is involved in the process. The lender or the bank has to disclose that list of what all of those fees cost. There are some services that you can shop for, and then there are some that you can't. So everything that is part of the transaction is listed on a fee sheet. Make sure the lender is disclosing that to you. The lender should easily be able to get that over to you in a PDF file, something for you to review. When we talk about the advantages of having multiple different lenders and banks, give you competitive different rates, make sure you're asking for the fee sheet too, so you can take that and compare apples to apples. Some real estate companies now have their own in-house lenders. I won't name any names, and they advertise no lender fees. That's not true. Every lender, every bank has fees, right? Nothing is free. Nothing is ever free. There's always a cost. And usually what will happen is that they're increasing your interest rate to give you that credit back, all right? And I kind of consider it a little bit, false advertising to do it that way and claim that there's no lender fees. You're paying for it, all right? You're paying for it one way or another. So make sure you can see the full list of fees as well as what your interest rate is so that you can compare different options. And that's how you can go and take your rate and compare it and shop it around. You have a 30-day window too, so don't worry about your score dropping and stuff like that. Get at least 2, 3 different options, maybe 4 options, and see what is going to be the best deal for you in your particular situation, all right? One of the second major things you can do is get your credit up. One of the easiest things is credit card balances. If you have credit card balances that are over that 30% mark, that seems to be the magic number. The lower your balance to your overall credit limit is, the better your scores. It shows you have credit, shows you're using credit. So get your scores up and you'll be in a much better position to get a better interest rate, right? Don't necessarily pay collections off. That could potentially drop your score. If you're trying to get your credit up so you can negotiate a better home loan rate, then collections, if you pay those off, that could actually drop your score because it's updating the date of last activities. So just kind of look at how old that collection is. If it's older than like 2 years, don't necessarily pay it off. It's because probably your score is going to go down. Let's look at other ways to dispute them and try to get them removed. Ideally, several months ahead of time before you're trying to buy, not last minute. If you know you have collections, don't just last minute try to start working on them and think you're going to be able to buy a home in the next 30 to 60 days, especially if your score is lower than like a 580, lower than a 600 especially. Just, it's not going to happen. So let's start working on those so your score goes up, and then you can definitely get a better rate doing it that. Now, the third thing too is actually negotiate what your rate is, all right? And ask for any overage that lender or bank is getting. Ask them to apply that down to either your closing costs or your interest rate. So some government loans, especially because the government insures them, like FHA or USDA or VA loans, will pay a little bit more to the lender or bank. They make more money, right? They make a larger commission on that. There's more points in the margin for them to help you out, right? They can buy your rate down, they can pay a little bit towards closing costs. And we talk about that more in another video. I won't go into too much detail there, but there's always a margin that you can get, and you can apply that to make sure you're getting the best deal. So ask for the fee sheet, ask for if there's any overage there, see if you can apply that back to lower your rate or help with the closing costs. Another thing to consider would maybe be an adjustable rate mortgage. They're not as common, and in most people's situation, they're not going to be the best option. But if you're planning on selling your house or paying your mortgage off here on like 5 years, then look at like an adjustable rate mortgage, like a 5-to-1. That first number just simply tells us, you know, what that fixed rate period is. So you'll oftentimes get like a lower initial interest rate. So a lot of times 1 to 1.5 point percentage lower than what a fixed rate mortgage would be. And that first number is always like for the number of, how long, right? So for the first 5 years, if you got a 5-to-1 ARM, it would be really low. And then after that, after that's over, that second number just tells us like the period every time it will increase. So every 1 year it will go up. How much it goes up, there's a cap, right? And you'll know what the cap is, but it's going to go up. So if you're planning on not being there longer than that, or not paying your mortgage off, that would definitely not be a good option. But if that is you, then know that you can definitely save some money and definitely negotiate a much better rate. Hopefully these tips help. If you or anybody you know is looking for a house in South Carolina, then definitely reach out to me or my team. There's going to be a link to my online application below this video. I would love to be able to connect with you. I hope you find the best option, save the most money, and get a home that you love.